So would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Kaylee and I'm from California. I'm 24 and I'm living my best life.
Tell me a bit about your volleyball history.
Awkwardly, I began just randomly at like a rec thing that my mom's work had with all these adults, and I was like, I'm really into this. Like it just came naturally. And so I ended up doing club volleyball and went into high school volleyball, and I just continued till like I went to college basically.
And then you moved here?
Yeah, so went to college and then came out here after COVID, and I did school in Oxford, and then I came over here now for my master's.
What made you come over to Met? Like, what was the difference between the two unis?
So I originally wanted to come here because of the forensic psychology course, and I needed to do another master's before going in, so I had to go over there, and it was okay. So I was like, I'm glad I'm here now. This is like what I originally wanted when I graduated.
So then this was the year that you got back into volleyball. What made you want to start back again?
Yeah, so I really regretted not playing in college in my undergrad, and it's just like one of the only things in my life that like I was really good at and I really missed, and I was just kind of regretted that. So I was like, oh, like let me just look into it. Like if anything, it'll be a good workout. And so I reached out. Obviously, I reached out to you and the coach, and yeah. So then I joined the team, and it's been an interesting ride.
How has it been sort of settling in back to that sort of volleyball life?
It's been difficult in the sense of like, obviously I don't have the same body that I did when I started and finished. So like I didn't do any sports for what, 5 years now. And so in those 5 years, like we've had COVID, and obviously we were probably all very lazy during COVID. And so I think for me, a lot of it was like, oh, I have like that knowledge of volleyball, but I don't have the agility that I have. So that's been a bit of a struggle, but then again, it's still like, I still love the sport, so I still like, if I do something good and I'm proud of myself, I'm like, yeah, I got it in me still.
So have you noticed like a big difference in just the volleyball culture here in the UK compared to what you had back at home in the US?
Definitely. I feel like it's way more relaxed here and just not as intense, both in like a good and bad way. Like I think back in America, it's like sports are a really, really huge thing, and I'm used to it being constantly loud, a lot of energy, just really high intensity, and I think it's a bit like slowed down over here.
And how have you found the difference in the team itself? Obviously, when you see the stereotypical volleyball games in the US, there's a lot of the chants, the sort of like the celebrations, and then here it's just not as to the same level.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting because I feel like when I came in, I was like, why aren't we doing this? Why aren't we doing that? Like I'm just so used to those things, and it comes so naturally. So it was a bit like, oh, like what do I do? Like, and it kind of felt like I needed to be silenced a bit. But I will say that I feel like the team and the girls themselves are more kind-spirited than like teams I've been on, like where it is more focused on like winning. Like now it's more like we're trying to create a bond with one another, and I think this is one of the teams I've had more friends on compared to like past teams.
So was it a shock to you, sort of the difference in environment from back home, like compared to here?
Yeah, it's just definitely a different feel. I feel like sometimes I don't feel fulfilled almost, like in my role, just as a teammate or a friend, just on and off the court. And so I've just been trying to find that balance, and obviously everyone has different experience levels, and I think that like also caught me off guard a lot. So yeah, it's definitely just like been kind of me finding that balance with like where I am now and like not focusing too much on where I used to be.
And has the difference in culture and the behaviours here sort of affected your joy for volleyball?
Yeah, I feel like It's hard because with volleyball, it's a team sport. So you want to have fun and you want to be relaxed, but you also want to keep that energy up. And like, I feel like a lot of the times I find myself on the court where it's too relaxed, or like maybe people don't like care as much, and like that's okay if that's like what they want from volleyball, but that's not what I want. So it's hard to like find the grasp on like how do I like manage like who I am on the court and like connect with everyone else. I feel like my coach has similar like passions as me, so it's easy to kind of like talk to him and be like, right, like this is like how I used to be, this is what I want from myself. At least if I can't get that from my team, like I'd want to work more on myself. Like maybe I'll play more in the future, who knows. But yeah, I think it's just difficult sometimes to like get into the mindset of not everyone has the same experience or like level of knowledge for volleyball. So it's more of just like me being like, all right, like just have fun, like get back into it. There's no rush. It's life, it's fine.
And has that sort of been upset of you? Was your ideal world sort of being the same as what was back home?
I think when I first joined, obviously I was a bit anxious because I don't like tryouts anyways, but then everyone was like, oh, it's not really a tryout, just show up. And I was like, okay, like it's fine. Like if I get to see how everything plays out, then I'm okay. And I think I expected a bit more when I first came to like the tryouts. And then as time continued, I just like realized like it just seemed like it was more individual skill and there wasn't much of a unit, and I'm used to like a unit. And so I think I expected a bit more, and I think that's why I feel really like upset sometimes when I'm like playing or practicing, because I just want more like energy.
Thanks again for joining us today. It's been a pleasure to have you. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of your season.
I will try just for you.